Hi guys, and welcome to Together We're Journey. My name is Jeanette, and in today's episode I'm just going to go through what we can do in the heat of the midst of the summer heat wave that we're having at the moment, and what's the best thing to do for your garden. So guys, it is like 10 to 10 and it's already 35 degrees Celsius here in WA. So it is a warm day today, and during this time especially, these plants are not going to do well. However, what can we do instead of killing plants, basically? Well, we're not going to be able to transfer any plants. We're not going to be able to plant any plants at all because the heat is just going to kill them before they actually get through the transplant phase. So what can we do? Well, we can start composting. So I got this little composter called the Urban Compost, and I got this from online. And literally, you just literally cut up your little stuff, put your compost in there, shut the lid, and they give you also this little pumpkin thing to help, pumpkin spray to help actually break it down. I'll show you. So this will help break it down and become more compostable for you. But the best thing about this is when you water your garden using the rainwater tank that you have on your garden, try not to use too much water, especially if you're in WA, because we're in a drought. I don't know when the last time we had a rain. I think maybe a proper rainfall, I think maybe in October. We've had little spits here and there, but nothing too serious. So we're just waiting for the next rainfall basically. But if you have rainwater tanks, you can use your water as you wish. If you connect to the mains, then you have to comply with the watering days, and every now and then do a hand water. So it's beneficial for your garden to have a rainwater tank. But this compost, I'll bring this little camera with me. This compost produces like the fluid. So all the compost juice, literally, let's see if I can get this right, is collected in there. It's collected in there, and you can use that as a bit of fertilizer for your plants. So I'm just going to go to the rainwater tank. I'll be back. So literally, you just mix it in, just mix a little bit in with your water, and you've got yourself a fertilized watering can that you can actually use on your plants. Now, unfortunately, I have actually lost a plant, but that's because it's kept in a pot. And I'll just quickly go through some of the pots that I've got here. And I'll just finish watering those. So these are my pots. This one here this is the flower. It had beautiful flowers on it before. It is a begonia, a form of begonia, and it's so beautiful, but it loves the shade. Oh, and a resident spider. This here is a desert rose. I actually took this one out to my property, and unfortunately it didn't do too well, so I had to bring it back and nurse it back to health. And look at it now. She's growing. She's loving it here. So when I get my house built, this will probably go under the veranda because obviously doesn't like full sun as I thought it might do. Back here's a lucky bamboo I once had that I kept, and I thought, why not? Just keep the bamboo because I like it. And you can see it's got some new growth there as well. So this is doing all right as well. This is my peony. It's a bulb. I was hoping to grow it because I do love peonies. Unfortunately, it has died off. So I'm kind of hoping it's died off because its season is over. And in the back there is a lilium. And now, unfortunately, when I brought it in, it did have like a little stem. However, a snail decided to eat it, or snails decided to eat it. So I'm kind of hoping it will grow back next season. we'll see. And the back here is a fuchsia. This one has not done well at all. It's suffered big time. I don't know what killed it, the heat, the humidity, I have no idea, but it is not happy and died. And here I've got two gardenias, and they seem to be doing really, really well. But they're also in the shade, and they're watered quite often. And this one has a bulb. Beautiful. I love gardenias, always have done. But I will place them in a place because out of the sun in my property once my house is built. And here I have, as you can see, an acacia. This little baby is going to go out the front in between my gum trees. And the back here I have a Coriciama. Not too sure if that was pronounced correctly. But this thing, or this plant, hopefully will produce pretty flowers like that one there. So that will go into my block during autumn. And then obviously I've got my mother-in-law tongue that's ready to go into my house. I'll cut that up into smaller chunks and that will go into my house. So these are the pot plants I have thus far that are thriving, except for that one dead one. But yeah, so compost is the number one thing, and these plants get nothing but that kind of water, and except for the fuchsia, they seem to be thriving, except for the fuchsia and the bulbs. Other than that, they seem to be thriving. So even with being hot, pots don't do well in pots. Plants don't do well in pots, sorry. All these plants are going to go up to my property once my house is built, or they're going to get transferred over in autumn. So this one here is a bottle brush, a hot pink bottle brush. It didn't do so well, so as you can see, the sun, even though it's a bush tree, it hasn't done very well in a pot. However, it is growing back now that I'm nursing it and giving it a lot of water. As you can see as well, that even some of my succulents aren't doing so well in the pots. Potentially they may need to be repotted, but you still have to look after your succulents as well. Even though they're low maintenance, they still require some maintenance. I ended up putting a bit of shade cloth over these plants because of the summer. We're apparently going to reach about 40 degrees Celsius later in the week. So I did a makeshift shade cloth to help protect the plants in the pots. Because these pots absorb the heat as well, it is so much warmer. If you look at the rest of my mum's garden, she's got a thick layer of mulch on that garden, which helps keep that ground cool. So when you get the opportunity to mulch your garden, obviously not in the highest of heats, mulch the garden, and or in autumn start laying down some ground cover, because that also helps keeps the ground cool, keeps the moisture in. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not gonna stay out here too long. You can see I am sweating something chronic, and I've got sunscreen on, and I'm sure the UVI is like something ridiculous, like 14, whatever. Another thing you can do as well is prepare your flower bed for autumn, so you can get like the soil ready, put the compost stuff into the ground, start getting it ready, put poop in the ground, all that kind of stuff to get your garden ready for autumn. So you can have those flowers, you can have certain vegetables growing at the moment as well. And yes, you can grow certain vegetables at this time, like broccoli or cabbage and stuff like that. But really, I don't think anything is going to flourish too well in this heat unless you really look after it and you have that time to look after it. So this is also a good time for you to start preparing your garden bed. Get rid of those weeds, top and turf the garden bed, rotate it around, that kind of stuff. Cool.